You know, I'm starting not to care anymore sometimes because, it's almost like every single time like I start talking about like some government corruption shit, I get frozen. But I thought it was very funny that it froze right there. But anyways, government spends over 100 years stealing and robbing from everybody, and then they put somebody new in and then say that, oh, they're going to fix whatever the people of the past did to us, and then they do a bigger crime by adding more to the deficit. So where do you think this tax money is going to come from? It's like it's like an Ouroboros. It's like the snake that's eating its tail. And that's kind of what I see more than anything. Where like the money system just starts to become so illogical. Like you look at everything and you're just like, man, this all of this shit is just so fake. Um, all the reasons they come up with, all the things that they do in order to justify what they do to people. It's crazy. And a lot of people have this false ideology called the just world theory. And the just world theory is basically, if you do good, good things will happen to you, or if you do bad, bad things will happen to you. But bad things, horrendous things, happen to good people all the time. So I feel like a lot of people have a misconception of the world that it's fair, and it's not. It's actually very dangerous. It's very poisonous, and there is evil out there. There's evil ass people out there, that, and mind you, a lot of these people are in power, and I see, to me, Elon Musk is no different than like Kamala Harris. When Kamala Harris came out, she tried to be cool, right? Elon is out there trying to be cool, and that's what this whole based rhetoric is starting to become. It's becoming fruitless. It's becoming spiritless. And again, we get tricked by some of these people. I mean, I wasn't tricked by Trump for very long. I stopped liking him in 2018. But slowly you start to realize like that a lot of these people were just bullshitting us and then doing fucked up shit all the time, making deals with companies for stupid shit, like who knows how much money was really made during these COVID vaccine things, you know what I mean? And there's going to be more vaccines and more boosters and all sorts of stuff. And now they want to put it into food because bird flu is a deadly disease. And we have a new bird flu vaccine for the animals you eat, so we could inject them. And then, it comes over to you. Like, eugenics is playing out like very vividly to me. Elon Musk is like Bill Gates 2.0 to me, because it's another douchebag that's in the technology field that somehow thinks that a product needs to be injected into a client or some sort of human-made product needs to go into a human. And all of this kind of goes back to not owning yourself and not owning anything. You know what I mean? Like right now, everything may be on, maybe like it's digital or it's on paper or something like that. But imagine you're like a car. A car needs a registration, it needs a license plate. You need to renew that registration every year. And the digital ID is going to be something like that. But for humans, where you're going to need to renew your existence every year. And that's kind of what's happening. You're not going to be able to participate in the new economy if you don't appease or if you don't conform to whatever requirements you need to survive, whatever requirements you need to drive around. Like I personally think that, the money that they steal from road tolls, like you go on the road and you pass a toll, you pay your toll, and there just seems to be an endless supply of tolls all the fucking time. Like they're taxing you to drive, taxing you to travel, taxing you to own a property, taxing you to own different assets. And in other countries, there's even wealth taxes where you will pay a wealth tax if you have a particular asset that rises with inflation because the inflation is so hot in that area. So because the government knows that inflation is so hot in that area, they place inflation taxes on wealthier people. And this is the robbery I'm talking about. You know, it starts to become such bullshit when it comes to taxes that I don't think enough people like I don't think people are really catching like the big scam here, you know? Like really think about what they just said to us. We lost $3 trillion. Okay. We lost $3 trillion. And you know, you might as well call the number a gazillion. It doesn't fucking matter. You know, we lose $3 trillion, and because we don't know where that money went, it doesn't count. It just doesn't count. It just doesn't count. Well, when the fuck are our taxes not going to count? When the fuck are any of these things not going to count? You know? And it's like, what are they really doing to survive? Because they're going to sit there and say, well, you know, taxes pay for the government, you know, or taxes pay for this and pay, but it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, you know, because they print this shit out of thin air, and then after they print shit out of thin air, they can't find where the money went supposedly, and then out of nowhere they're saying, well, it doesn't count. Well, what the fuck counts besides, you know, the manipulation of power over people, over the power of who's in poverty and who's not. So, you know, these are just some of the things that have been like rolling around in my head where I'm like, you know, I get to this point where you look at the system for what it is and it's so corrupt. And, you know, especially here in America, you think of America as some sort of shining light in the world in some sort of way, you know, when it comes to freedoms and blah, blah, blah. But when you really fucking peel back this onion, like it's not very free at all. You know, you're constantly being targeted no matter what. Um, but other than that, you know, at the end of all this, as we go through all this chop, and at some point, the weakening of the dollar is going to happen. I don't know what the variable will be. It could be printing. It could just be a regular story. You know, could be that. But there's more than one way to depreciate the dollar, and it doesn't always mean increasing the supply. It could also mean less holders. Less holders of what? Dollars. And what is BRICS talking about all the time? Not using the dollar. So a lot of this is going to transcend into the monetary system. But, you know, either which way it goes, assets are ultimately going to rise. So I'm overall bullish on everything. You know, it's just, I think a lot of people forgot that there there is chop in a bull market. So you got to survive that. I've been sick for like over a month. It's been crazy. Got like bronchitis and shit. It sucks. And you know, I haven't been able to fucking do anything. Like I literally cannot do anything. Um, but I'm going to continue just monitoring what's going on. The dollar is depreciating as it sits today. We were at 108. We're at 106.5 now. So things are definitely like you could see the buildup happening all around us. That something's coming. You can see the buildup. You could see that stimulus are going to happen. You could see that printing is going on. You can see that rates are cutting in different countries. The market is going to start shooting up, you know, at some point. And we just got to wait for these catalysts to kind of come into fruition here. Anyways, look, don't forget every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless I want to do it sooner. This depends on how I feel. But every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a voice conference on OddApp. It's on Apple and Google stores. I would love to see you guys there. And again, like a lot of people have a misconception of why you would be an MYC. MYC is not just about banger picks, okay? You know, just because I could call shit like 2 years in advance before people like it, you know, and then they end up liking it, you know. That is a good